Hello everyone, my name is Wayne.
And I'm Rebecca.
And we are your Bourbon Journey.
Welcome to another episode of Sipping on History, where we're going to taste and share what it's like drinking vintage whiskey. Today we're doing something that we acquired from my family. I was very fortunate to gain a lot of Jim Beam bottles specifically from my mom's Uncle Paul, so my great uncle. And this one in particular is one of the Derby bottles that we have, and it seemed appropriate with the Kentucky Derby just around the corner. So let me tell you a little bit about this particular bottle. This is the 1974 Jim Beam 100th Kentucky Derby Decanter. It is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey distilled at Jim Beam. The mash bill is 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley. It was aged 100 months. If you know anything about the decanters, instead of years, they try to do the months whenever possible. So that is 8.33 years old when bottled in 1974. The proof is 86, and again, it was gifted from a family collection. In the book, A Guide to Jim Beam Bottles by Simbura and Avery, the 100th anniversary of the famed Kentucky Derby Classic is honored with a bottle bearing cameos of the first winner Aristides in 1875 and Cannonade in 1974. Red roses fill the numerals. The back lists the names and dates of the previous winners. It's 7.5 inches high, and believe it or not, it originally sold for only $10, which is crazy, right?
That's a really good price.
Yeah, I don't think you get one today for $10. So
Are you betting on a horse this year in the race?
I'm not.
I'm not either. I kind of have Rodney Dangerfield's luck.
Really?
Yeah. You know, last time I bet on the race, they shot off the opening gun, they killed my horse. I don't bet anymore.
So our Derby collection for Jim Beam bottles, actually, I realized today as I put them all out, and I'll share a photo here, we have 95, 96, 97, 98, and 100. So we may have to be on the hunt for the 99th running, which is kind of funny. Now, last year was the 150th running of the Kentucky Derby. So we did crack this bottle open last year in honor of that. And I'll share a link to the original story about that. But it's always fun opening vintage bottles that have been sitting around since the 70s. This has a cork. Unlike the screw tops that are super easy to open and they are very consistent, the corks typically have dried out a bit because, you know, you're not supposed to store, unlike wine, you don't store bourbon on the side. So the corks can dry out pretty readily. And this one did have to have some toothpick surgery, as we've learned from Brad Bonds at Revival Vintage Spirits. So it came out, we strained it, then we put it into this bottle, which yes is a Kentucky Spirit Wild Turkey bottle. But it's a perfect size bottle to decant this in. We wanted to be able to see the colors. You can see it's very dark. Mm-hmm. It's for an 8-year-old spirit that's been sitting around since the 70s. It's pretty nice. So we have had a bit out of this bottle because it is pretty tasty. Mm-hmm. But we have not had any for a year.
It's true. And the only reason it's in a Wild Turkey bottle is at that time, that was the bottle that we actually had that we could use. And it was the easiest to pour and handle and everything. And
it had a really good cork.
Yes, and it had a really good cork, which was very important since we were going to go ahead and recork it and all that. So Brad, real quick, you're probably watching this. Try to find a 99 year if you've got one, hold it and contact us. So anyway, so shall we get into the whole rigmarole?
Yeah, I mean, it still has beautiful clarity. It's held its age amazingly. And I'm excited to look at a little bit more about the color and appearance.
It's amazing. It's held its age so well without a drop of makeup.
And it is a really dark, as you could probably see in the bottle. Not quite as dark looking in the glass with the lights and everything, but it's kind of amazing how dark it is. 8.33 years as we calculated for 100 months. So it's got some light legs forming. It's only 86 proof, which kind of common for Jim Beam of the day. Mm-hmm. So let's see how the nose is holding up.
Oh, it's like caramel. Caramel and baking spices.
It's really dark and rich. It's
almost a burnt caramel.
Yeah, it's a dark caramel. Are you getting any peanut notes on it?
I am not.
I'm not either.
And it may be there, but honestly, the override is caramel.
Oh, caramel and it's a combination of baking spices. It's not just cinnamon. It's like cinnamon and nutmeg, allspice. It's just got it all going on at one time, which is pretty amazing. And these legs have formed now while I've been twirling the glass around. So it's got some nice viscosity, which looking forward to a good mouthfeel. So cheers to a very fun, safe, and hopefully sunny running of the Kentucky Derby this year, the 151st. And cheers to sipping on history here.
And I hope your horse did better than mine.
I'm getting barrel notes.
I'm getting barrel notes.
Wow, it's good. A little bit of like leather notes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I remember that, but I didn't read our notes from last year. I didn't want to influence me in any way. So I carefully grabbed the link for the story, but we didn't have YouTube then. But I did not read our notes because I didn't want to know what we thought last year. So, but it's barrel notes. That is just really good. The caramel's still there, but it's almost, what's it called? The blackstrap molasses, because it's really deep, dark, and rich.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that almost dark molasses note coming through on it.
I almost go to it. It is teetering between what you said and a burnt caramel.
Mm-hmm.
Really go, and I think you could taste it
Mm-hmm.
and find one, and then taste it again and find the other. It's right in the middle, but the leather and the barrel are distinct.
It's just lovely. I mean, this taste, it's kind of reminiscent. I mean, I'd almost like to go grab it and pour it, but it's kind of remind me of Granddad's 16 a little bit. It's kind of funny. I mean, same distillery, right? This is only 8 years old though, but this is from back in the day, which we know things were just done a little bit differently. As we've said before, grains may have been different and barrels may have been different because trees were different and water was different. So, it's just a different time.
Yeah, the earth, the sky, and everything about it. This was, let's see, it was LBJ was president back then, when it was put in the bottle. I mean, we can go over a whole list.
He's making fun of me.
No, I'm not, actually.
He likes to make fun of me.
No, I do not. Gentlemen, we do not make fun of our wives. We don't. Hi. Anyway.
Let's have another sip. I mean, I think I'm already feeling the finish because it's just hanging around, but I want to do a sip just for that. It is just amazing. And part of the reason the bottle's gone down too is we have poured a couple of 2-ounce pours to give to friends and to let them taste what this historic type of Jim Beam tastes like. And then, of course, when my family had come over last year, we poured some for my mom. She's the only one that really likes bourbon. And so she could taste it too because she's the one that passed the bottles on to me. So we've shared it with people, which is what you're supposed to do with bourbon. You're supposed to share with people and give them the experience that you're getting.
Mm-hmm. I would be really curious with this, comparing to old Granddad's 16. Would you want to pause and we could do like one glass of it real quick?
Well, let's do the finish first.
Okay.
And then do that. So what are you getting on the finish here now we did that? I mean, I'm finding it long and lingering, which for 86 proof is kind of surprising.
Barrel in the back, that's the finish.
And
There's
it's
no
more
pepper.
oaky, more oak.
Yeah, and it's very pleasant. I really like it. But once again, my run recently in our videos is I've been into the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been enjoying that, and this one here definitely has that. It's not a burning finish.
Mm-mm.
It's just kind of going down. I know it's there. It's very pleasant.
It's warm, not hot.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it lets you know it's there and that it hasn't gone away, and it wants you to know drink it again.
Yeah,
it's kind of inviting. So let's do that. Let's take a little pause. And we will grab the 16 off the shelf. Okay, so we're back. So we've poured the Granddad 16. We have not tasted or anything yet. So I want to do a little nose comparison first.
Okay, so let's start with where we began this, and that is the old guy.
Well, I'm just going to say that I feel like the color's a little darker. The color's a little darker on the older one. which is
agree.
kind of interesting considering that the Granddad is 16 years old. So you know me, I have to do side-by-side nosing. So
Okay. I'm gonna.
I would say Granddad's sweeter.
Oh, Granddad sweeter on the nose, yeah.
Granddad's a lot sweeter. Of course, it could be a different mash bill since this is the old Granddad mash bill, and this is the Jim Beam mash bill. So
Mash bills and maybe the barrel. We're talking 1966.
I mean, there's just a lot more sweet notes on the old Granddad. Granddad's spicier too. A lot spicier.
Okay. Let me go to Granddad.
Oh, I have to do things. He likes to be very in his lane on it, and me, I'm like, I gotta do it side by side. Drink it as Booker No says any damn way you want, right? So it's okay.
Oh yeah, it's a lot spicier.
A lot spicier. I think there's a little bit more legginess and viscosity on the Granddad 16. You would expect that. I mean, I would expect Granddad 16 to be a little bit higher and oakier and things like that because it is 16 years old versus 8 years old, but it's a time frame. You can tell they're related though.
Mm-hmm. I am on the Granddad getting barrel.
Mm-hmm.
I get barrel in the back.
Mm-hmm.
That is probably the one similarity between these two.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say it, if it's like, Wayne, which one of the barrels you prefer? I could go with this guy. There's something about the barrel with that is very pleasant. And I don't dislike 16. I actually really like 16
we have a lot of them
a
because
lot.
we like them a lot.
We've got several bottles because we're afraid they'll run out, but somehow they keep finding it, but that's another story. And but the barrel is there on this, but I really dig that old Jim Beam.
And it is a little proofier, of course, because the Granddad 116 is 100 proof, and this is only 86. But there are definitely familiar notes, right? They definitely seem from the same family. On the nose and the palate, I get a lot more barrel notes on the old one, but the 16-year-old, it gets on the back of your palate and then in the finish. It's barrel in the finish, I think. And it's a lot spicier. This one has dark sweetness and this was dark spice almost. So it was kind of fun to compare.
See, now I'm going to be really curious as to finding out who did both.
Mm-hmm. As far as the distilling goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. And I mean, if you've ever been up to Revival Vintage Spirits, one of the things that Brad loves to do there is sometimes he'll do a flight through the years. We were recently up there and we did a flight of, it was around St. Patrick's Day. So it was an Irish, wasn't it?
Yes.
Was it Jameson?
Jameson.
We did a flight of Jameson from almost 3 decades, basically. And he'll do that a lot, right? Or he'll pour wild turkey from the 70s and wild turkey today. So he loves doing that. And we actually purchased an old Maker's Mark, and we're going to do the comparison of Maker's Mark then and now. So we're trying to do something you do all the time, Brad, right? So we don't have exactly that today, but we thought we would try it with something that had those barrel notes. So I think this is pretty fun. I'm glad we did it. If you can get your hand on one of these vintage Jim Beam decanters, I highly recommend it.
They're a lot of fun.
Especially if you can get it with Brad at Revival Vintage Spirits. His seem to be in really good shape. We've bought quite a few from him as well. We mostly now buy bottles from him because we have such a decanter collection, as you can probably see over Wayne's shoulders. So
and
they take up space.
And he has a 93% rate of success.
Mm-hmm.
We've only had one bottle where it didn't pan, and he more made up for it in another way, which is another bottle in the future that will come. So anyway, I think we end this with picking up
the Derby.
the Derby.
Mm-hmm.
And giving a shout out to whoever it was back in the day that was involved with this.
Probably Booker No.
Yeah, which is around the time I was born. Scary. So anyway, cheers to all of you out there. Hope you have a great day. Hope your horse wins. Hope it does better than mine did last year. Always remember to drink responsibly. And if you like what we do, please like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a great day.
Cheers.
And away to go.